Stop for a moment and listen closely, because this is not just another message about love, longing, or someone returning to your life. This is about something your body felt before your mind could explain it. Maybe you have tried to ignore it. Maybe you told yourself it was stress, memory, or wishful thinking, but then it kept happening. The sudden warmth in your chest, the wave in your stomach, the strange stillness before sleep, the way your body reacts to this person even when nothing is happening outside of you. That is not random. That is not weakness. And it is not your imagination. Something deeper has been speaking through you for longer than you realize. Tonight, I want you to hear this clearly. Your body often knows the truth before your thoughts are brave enough to admit it. And if you have been feeling that quiet pull, that pressure, that almost unexplainable sense that this person is not gone for good, then stay with me, because what you are feeling may be the first sign that the story between you is not finished. Watch this all the way through, because the part most people skip is the part that explains everything. What if the reason you cannot fully release this person is not because you are stuck, but because something in you already knows they are moving back toward your life? And what if the signs have been in your body the whole time, waiting for you to finally trust them? There is a reason you found this message at this exact moment. Not because of luck, not because of habit, but because something inside you recognized it before your mind even had time to judge it. Your body has been carrying a truth that your thoughts keep trying to push away. That is why normal days have started feeling strange. Everything on the surface may look the same. Same room, same routine, same life. But under all of that, something has been shifting. You feel it in the chest first. A warmth, a pressure, a heaviness that is not fear and not exactly sadness. Sometimes it feels like your heart is responding to a person who is not physically near you, as if some part of you knows movement is already happening in the distance. Then there is the stomach, that wave that rises for no reason, that small drop inside you when their energy crosses your mind, and then the breath. Have you noticed it? Those moments when you suddenly breathe deeper without trying, as if your body is preparing for something before you even know what it is. This is the part people dismiss too quickly. They want logic first, proof first, a message first, a clear sign outside themselves first. But very often the first message does not arrive through words. It arrives through sensation, through the body, through the one part of you that does not waste time pretending. So if something in you has been speaking in silence, do not rush past it. Stay with this, because what comes next matters more than you think. Your mind and your body do not move at the same speed. The mind wants facts, it wants timelines, it wants answers it can hold and label and explain. But the body is older than that. The body reacts before thought becomes language. It stores memory differently. It notices what your conscious mind is too distracted or too afraid to face. That is why you can tell yourself you are over it and still feel your chest tighten when their name crosses your path. That is why you can say it is finished and still feel your whole body go quiet when you sense something about them in the air. The body remembers what the mind tries to clean up and hide. It remembers the comfort. It remembers the ache. It remembers the moments that mattered so much they never fully left your system. And when something begins shifting again between two people, the body often feels the movement first, long before the phone lights up, long before a message arrives, long before the world gives you visible proof. This is why some nights feel heavy for no reason, and some mornings feel soft in a way you cannot explain. This is why you may feel a strange peace one day and an intense pull the next. It is not always confusion. Sometimes it is your body trying to help you catch up to something already in motion. So before you call yourself dramatic, before you tell yourself you are reading too much into it, ask a better question. Why does my body keep responding to this person as if the story is still alive? Why does something in me refuse to go numb? That question is important because the answer may be closer than you think. And this is what makes the whole thing even more powerful. It may not only be your body feeling this shift, theirs may be feeling it too. Somewhere in quiet moments they cannot fully explain, their body may already be reacting to your return before their mind has found the courage to admit what it wants. Restlessness starts first. They feel uneasy in ordinary rooms. Sleep changes. Appetite changes. Their breathing changes in small, unnoticed ways. They may be sitting around other people and still feel like something is missing, like the room is full, but not full enough. Their hand may pause over the phone longer than usual. Their chest may tighten at random times. Their body may suddenly remember what being close to you felt like, not as a thought, but as a living memory inside muscle, skin, and breath. This is how deep connection works when it has truly marked two people. It does not stay only in the head. It settles into the body, into posture, into sleep, into how a person holds silence, into what they reach for without understanding why. They may try to act normal. They may tell themselves they moved on. But the body is harder to fool. The body does not care about pride. It does not care about the story the ego wants to protect. It only knows what felt real. It only knows where safety lived, where longing lives, where unfinished emotion is still asking to be faced. So if you have felt that this bond is still active, even in silence, trust that feeling more than the surface. Silence does not always mean nothing is happening. Sometimes silence is where the deepest movement begins. Keep listening, because the next part explains why the distance may not be what it seems. Your mind looks at the silence and calls it separation. Your mind looks at the time that has passed and calls it over. But your body may know something different. Your body may know that distance is not always the same as disconnection. Energy does not always stop just because words stop. Some bonds keep moving under the surface, quietly, steadily, even when the outer world goes still. That is why you can be doing something simple, something completely ordinary, and suddenly your whole body pauses. You are washing dishes, driving, folding clothes, standing in line, and then, without warning, something inside you goes completely still. Not because you are remembering on purpose, not because you are daydreaming, but because some part of you senses a shift before the mind understands it. That stillness matters. That sudden wave matters. Those tears that come without a full story attached to them matter too. The body speaks in sensation because some truths are too large to enter through language first. And maybe that is what has been happening to you. Maybe your body has been carrying a message your thoughts are still trying to negotiate with. A message that says this bond is not dead. A message that says movement is happening. A message that says what felt real did not disappear just because time passed. This is why the signs often show up in the least dramatic moments. Not in fireworks, not in giant public proof, but in a pulse, a shiver, a quiet warmth, a sudden deep breath, a knowing that arrives so softly you almost miss it. Do not miss it. The small signs are often the truest ones, and what your body repeats again and again is usually the message you need most. Have you noticed that something inside you has been changing lately? Not louder, stronger. There is a difference. Before, maybe this connection lived in your throat, in that heavy feeling you could not swallow. Maybe it lived in your eyes, in tears that came without permission. Maybe it lived in your hands, always reaching for your phone, always checking, always hoping, always waiting. But now something is shifting. The ache may still exist, but it is carrying itself differently. The tears feel cleaner, the breathing feels fuller, the waiting feels less desperate. And that can confuse you because part of you may think, if I stop chasing this so hard, am I letting it go? But no, what is happening is deeper than that. You are not losing the connection. Your body is teaching you how to hold it without breaking yourself. There is a big difference between love and panic, between connection and fear, between knowing and obsession. And maybe your body is finally done confusing those things. Maybe your body is choosing peace without surrendering truth. Maybe your spine is remembering that it was built to hold you upright, not bend around someone else's silence. Maybe your chest is learning how to stay open without collapsing into need. That is not giving up. That is growth. That is what happens when the body begins choosing wholeness. And here is the part you need to hear. When you stop chasing from fear, the energy changes. When you stop reaching from lack, something shifts in the bond itself. Your peace is not passive. Your peace moves. Your peace speaks. Your peace reaches places words never could. And yes, sometimes the moment you become steady is the moment the other person feels the absence of what you were carrying for them all along. When your body stopped running in circles, theirs may have started feeling the space. When your energy became calmer, stronger, more grounded, something may have reached them in a way they could not ignore. They may not understand it. They may not have the language for it, but they can feel it. The body always notices when a source of emotional energy changes. They may suddenly feel emptier, colder, more restless. The old distractions may stop working the same way. The noise around them may feel louder, but less comforting. They may find themselves thinking of you not because they planned to, but because the place where your energy used to meet them now feels strangely quiet. And that quiet can shake a person, especially if they were relying on your longing without even knowing it. Especially if they thought they could keep hiding behind distance while your heart kept holding the bridge alone. But once you become still in a new way, once your body stops begging and starts knowing, the balance changes. Then they have to feel their own side of the connection more directly. Then their own body has to carry what it has been avoiding. This is why someone can suddenly become more aware of what they lost the moment you start returning to yourself. Not because you played a game, not because you manipulated the energy, but because truth became clearer. Your body chose alignment. And alignment has force. It moves across silence. It touches what words cannot touch. It exposes what avoidance cannot hide forever. So if you have been feeling stronger lately, even in small ways, do not underestimate that shift. What healed inside you may be the very thing now echoing inside them. And once their own body starts answering that echo, the road back begins opening whether they are ready to admit it or not. Place your attention on your chest for a second and notice this. Your heartbeat has carried this connection through every stage, through closeness, through silence, through confusion, through missing them, through trying to move on, through trying not to feel. It stayed, not always in pain, not always in peace, but always in truth. That matters, because the heart does not speak in arguments. It speaks in rhythm, in repetition, in the quiet refusal to forget what was deeply real. Your body can go through an entire day acting normal while the heart keeps holding a deeper memory beneath everything. And sometimes that memory is not asking you to stay stuck. Sometimes it is asking you to stay honest. To admit that something about this person reached you in a way others did not. To admit that some part of your body still recognizes their energy like a familiar song. That does not mean you stop living. It does not mean you worship the past. It means you stop lying to yourself about what mattered. There is strength in that. There is clarity in that. Because once you stop forcing yourself to feel less than you feel, your body becomes calmer, more direct, more intelligent. It does not need drama. It does not need fantasy. It only needs truth. And maybe the truth is this. The bond is still alive, but it is no longer asking you to suffer for proof. It is asking you to trust what you already know. It is asking you to feel the connection without shrinking your life around it. That is a different kind of power. That is the kind of power that changes timelines, because when the body holds truth without desperation, it becomes magnetic in a completely different way. And that is often when things start moving faster than before. You may have noticed the signs getting stranger, but also clearer. Dreams that feel too real. Moments when you wake up and could almost swear they were near you. A random wave of emotion that arrives without a thought attached to it. A tingling in your hands. A shiver down your spine. Tears that do not feel sad so much as familiar, like recognition taking liquid form. Then there are the outer moments that wake the body before the mind catches up. Hearing their name from a stranger, passing a place that holds their memory, smelling something in the air that pulls you back in 1 second flat. Your body reacts first. The breath changes, the chest opens or tightens, the stomach turns, the skin wakes up. And for a second, the whole world feels charged. This is what people often dismiss as coincidence, but the body does not react that strongly to what means nothing. The body responds when something is still active in the field of your life. And no, that does not mean every sign is a promise or every feeling is a guarantee. But when the same message keeps returning through the body again and again, it deserves your attention. Watch closely here, because this next truth changes everything. The body is often a better detector of emotional reality than the thinking mind. The mind gets scared and builds stories. The body simply answers yes or no, open or close, move forward or pull back. And if your body keeps opening to this connection, even through the pain, even through the silence, even through the time apart, then there is something there your fear has not been able to erase. That is not small, that is not random. That is the kind of sign people understand only after it becomes obvious. Your mind still has questions, of course. What if I am wrong? What if they moved on? What if I am only feeling what I want to feel? Those questions are normal. The mind always looks for safety before surrendering to what it cannot fully control. But look at the pattern. When someone is wrong for you, your body knows that too. Your stomach knots, your jaw tightens, your shoulders rise, your sleep gets worse, your body contracts, it pulls back, it tries to protect you. But this connection may have done something different. Even when it hurts, some deeper part of you still opens. Even in the missing, there is a strange sense of recognition. Even in the sadness, there is movement, not deadness. That is important. Pain alone is not proof. But the way your body responds is information. It shows you whether the pain comes from a closed door or from something unfinished that is still alive beneath the surface. Your mind changes its story every day. 1 hour you believe. The next hour you doubt. One day you feel done. The next day your whole body says not yet. That is why the body has been your truest guide through all of this. While your thoughts keep spinning, your body has kept pointing in one direction. Not always loudly, not always dramatically, but steadily, quietly, persistently, toward them. And maybe that is because your body is not waiting for evidence. Maybe it already recognizes the timing. Maybe it already senses the return building before it becomes visible. So the next time doubt rises, do not answer it only with more thoughts. Pause. Breathe. Notice what your body does when this person enters your awareness. The answer you need may be there before the words ever arrive. And I want to say this clearly because many people miss this part. You have been braver than you realize. Not loud brave, not dramatic brave, quiet brave. The kind of brave that nobody sees. The kind that happens late at night when every part of your body misses someone and you still keep breathing through it. The kind that happens when your hands want to reach out, but you let them rest. The kind that happens in the morning when you wake up with that ache still inside you and choose to keep living your life anyway. That kind of courage changes a person from the inside out. Every time you stayed with your feelings instead of running from them, your body got stronger. Every time you let yourself feel the ache without begging for relief, your nervous system learned a deeper kind of trust. Every time you chose dignity over panic, you built a self that can hold real love instead of just craving reassurance. That matters more than you know. Because if this person does return, they will not be meeting the same version of you that once broke under the silence. They will be meeting someone steadier, deeper, more rooted, someone whose body has learned not to collapse every time fear shows up. And that change is powerful. It means the connection, if it returns, has a chance to land differently. Not in old chaos, not in old grasping, but in truth, real truth. So if you ever feel weak because this has affected you so deeply, remember this. The deepest healing often happens in silence. The strongest people are not always the ones who move on fastest. Sometimes they are the ones who stay open without losing themselves. And if that is what you have been doing, then what you built in the dark may be exactly what prepares you for what is coming next. You will likely feel their return before you physically see it. That is how this kind of bond often works. The body senses shifts before the outer world catches up. One morning you may wake up and feel a warmth in the center of your chest that stays with you all day. Not excitement exactly, not nervousness, something steadier, like an inner yes. Or maybe it will come as lightness, a sudden feeling that the pressure is lifting even though nothing visible has changed yet. Your body may begin relaxing in places that stayed tense for months. Sleep may become deeper. Breathing may become easier. Your hands may feel less restless. Your thoughts may stop chasing as hard because something deeper inside you has already started knowing. And then one ordinary moment, maybe in your car, maybe in your kitchen, maybe while walking outside, you may feel it so strongly that you have to stop. A full body knowing, not loud, not dramatic, just clear, they are getting closer. Maybe not physically in that exact second, but closer in timing, closer in truth, closer in the breakdown of whatever kept them away. This is often how return begins. First in the body, then in the energy, then in the outer world. Because real timing rarely announces itself with instant proof. It usually enters quietly, through the nervous system, through the chest, through the breath, through the sudden peace that makes no sense until later. So if that peace has started visiting you, do not rush to doubt it. Peace is not always absence. Sometimes peace is confirmation. Sometimes peace is the body saying, stop struggling, the movement has already begun. And once your body says that, the waiting starts changing into something much more powerful. But let us be honest. A return is not only about someone coming back. It is about what kind of person they come back as, and what kind of person you have become while they were gone. That matters, because not every return is ready. Not every apology is deep. Not every longing becomes action. But when the body begins signaling strongly, it is often because something real is changing, not only in you, but in them. The walls they built may be weakening. The silence they used to hide in may be becoming heavier to carry. The distance that once protected them may no longer feel like protection. It may start feeling like loss. And loss, when fully felt, wakes people up fast. They may begin seeing clearly what they could not face before. They may start feeling your absence in their routine, in their bed, in their chest, in the empty space after a long day when distractions stop working. They may realize they were not missing convenience. They were missing something their body identified as home. That is why return can feel slow and sudden at the same time. Slow while it is building under the surface. Sudden when it finally breaks through. So do not let the silence fool you into thinking nothing is changing. Some of the biggest shifts happen where nobody can see them. Inside the chest, inside the breath, inside the hidden rooms where people finally admit what they lost. If this person is coming back, it will not only be because they miss you, it will be because they can no longer outrun what their own body has been telling them. And when that moment comes, they may not have the perfect words, they may not arrive in a perfect way, but the truth will be there, and your body will know it before the conversation even begins. This is also why you must not betray your own growth now. Do not shrink just because you feel them near. Do not return to panic because the energy is stronger. Do not mistake movement for a reason to abandon yourself. If anything, this is the moment to stay even more grounded. Let your body stay open, but not desperate. Let your heart stay soft, but not unguarded in a blind way. Let your breath stay steady. Let your life keep moving. Because the strongest signal you can send into a connection like this is not fear. It is wholeness. It is the message that says, I can feel this deeply and still remain in myself. That changes everything. It changes how they approach. It changes how you receive. It changes what kind of relationship can grow if the door opens again. So if you feel them coming back, let that feeling make you calmer, not more chaotic. Let it make you trust deeper, not chase harder. Let it bring you into your body, not out of it. The body does not need to perform. It does not need to force. It only needs to stay honest. And honesty might sound like this now. Yes, I feel this connection. Yes, something is shifting. Yes, my body knows more than my fear wants to admit. But I will not abandon myself while I wait for truth to become visible. That is power. That is maturity. That is what turns longing into readiness. And if this return is real, it will meet you there. Not in your old fear, in your new steadiness. Not in the version of you that begged for signs, but in the version of you that became one. So if your chest has been speaking, if your sleep has changed, if your breath has been carrying a message your thoughts still do not know how to explain, listen. If your body keeps telling you this person is not finished with you, listen. If peace has started replacing panic, if knowing has started replacing chasing, listen even more closely. Because sometimes the body becomes the first place where the future arrives. Quietly. Without permission, without proof, just a sensation, just a pull, just a warmth, just a truth that refuses to go away. And maybe that is what this whole season has been about. Not teaching you how to suffer better, but teaching you how to trust deeper. Not teaching you to wait helplessly, but teaching you to recognize what is real before the world confirms it. If this person is coming back, your body may already be standing at the doorway, feeling the shift in the air before the knock is heard. And if that is true, then all you need to do now is stay awake to yourself. Stay honest, stay grounded, stay open without losing your center. Because when what is meant to return begins moving toward you, the body often knows first. It whispers before life speaks out loud. It steadies before events change. It remembers before the mind believes. And if your whole system has been trying to tell you this story is not over, do not ignore that message just because it came in a quiet form. The quietest messages are often the deepest ones. And one day soon, what your body has been carrying in silence may stand right in front of you in the form of undeniable truth.